Hey y'all, it's your girl Erica Vane back again with another breakdown from The Shy Season 4. In this video, we are breaking down episode number 5. Let's get into it. Child, I know I've already said this, but this season is really coming with it. I think we're seeing some of the best dramatic performances that we have ever seen. Yo, the last episode and this episode, Jacob Latimore, woo, he's really taking us there. But we start the episode off as they're preparing for this mayoral ball type of thing that they're using to be able to bid for the Olympics. As we know, that's a huge through line for this season. They're trying to get the Olympics to be held in Chicago. And it's crazy because this is Douda's first year as mayor, as well as he's defunding the police and shaking things up a lot. So for him to be going for such a big thing, such as the Olympics, and have the Olympics placed in Chicago while he's also making such radical changes, it's like, bro, he's literally pulling up all the stops. And one of the questions that we are wondering is who shot him. Towards the end of the season, we're gonna see that he's going to actually be shot. That's something that they have teased in the first episode, as they showed a lot of what happens towards the end of the season. At first I thought it was the very end of the season, but now that we're getting to this ball and we're only halfway through the season, I'm like, okay, so this might be coming up really soon. It might not be the cliffhangers at the end of like Douda getting shot. We get to see that Kevin sees Emma and Jake at the ball in the hallway in this episode, and a bunch of other things that they tease from episode 1. So it won't be towards the end of the season that all of this comes out. I think that this is going to finish out in reference to all of its reveals in the next episode or two, which also leaves a big question mark of like, okay, so then how are they planning in the season? Because if this is what they're just going to do for like the mid-season arc, then I can only imagine what's going to happen towards the end. But the episode starts off with the prep for that. Jemma's dad and Douda just constantly keep bumping heads, and I really think that there's something more to that, even though we only get these little beats of it, and it seems like, okay, it's just going to be regular random tension. I definitely would put Jemma's dad in the running for who shot Douda. And not because I think that Jemma's dad's character is capable of that, because I don't think we have the groundwork for that, but just because of the tension that is coming from them bumping heads the way they do. Like, there's a constant battle of like who is actually in charge and who is actually responsible for putting Douda in the position that he's in. And I do believe that Jemma's dad feels very unappreciated by Douda, especially after he was the turning force to actually help Judae'a get elected. Child, after we leave this ball, we jump into the Kevin, Jemma, Jake foolishness. I'm sorry, y'all. I am not here for it. I know some of y'all are like, yeah, I really like Jake and Jemma. If it didn't happen under these circumstances, if it wasn't so shady with it, I guess. But for me, I feel like Jemma's character is devolving. When she was introduced, she was such a strong, confident, articulate, open-minded, available for like conversations around various beliefs. Like, as a character, that's how she presented. And then this season, now that she's fallen in love with Jake and still can't bring herself to break up with Kevin, even though she knows she's developing feelings for Jake, she's also missing all of the signs with Kevin in reference to him having something going on. So he's not supporting her because he doesn't want to. He's not showing up the way that he probably should because he doesn't want to. He literally has a lot going on, and this season it starts off with him seeing Jake be abused and arrested by the police. And I don't know, just the way that it's rolling out, I ain't feeling it. And just watching it, every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, this is so bad. And I'm starting to like Jemma as a character less and less. Jake is the same for me. Like, Jake is going to be Jake, and he seems very true to character, even though him turning around and being interested in Jemma out of nowhere kinda does seem a bit off. But I can see how he got there in reference to them taking him on the arc with the police and the abuse, and this is his way of like fighting back because his normal way didn't work, and his normal way kind of escalated the situation. And I like that they are broadening him a bit with him making this turn and actually liking Jemma and all of that. But Jemma as a character, I'm starting to like less and less. And y'all tell me in the comment section down below, if you was Dre, would you be keeping this Jada secret the way she is? I'm sorry, I love my friends and all, but if this secret is something that's going to cause a huge rift within my dang on relationship with my wife, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to speak up. And the fact that she's now told Emmett and she still wants Dre to keep the secret, and Nina is not having it. Nina is stressed. Nina got a lot of things going on. She gotta drop some kind of hint, clue, or something. Like, I'm not gonna lose my marriage over you trying to take your time about me supporting you through cancer, sis. I'm not gonna lose my marriage about that. I just really am not. And that's what it's giving. It's giving Nina and Dre about to have some problems. No matter how much shower sex they have, it's giving this is about to be a very, very big marital problem. And y'all, we called it. I called it from the very beginning. Rashad clocks Imani, and when he's preparing for his job interview, and then they have their little tiff, and then from that moment on, Imani's like, he got to go. Tells Trig, and I'm proud of Trig. I'm proud of Trig for standing up for Imani the way that he did. He really, really tried to reason with Rashad. He really didn't come at him, to me, he didn't come at him super hard and just like out of nowhere, matter of fact. He really tried to protect the friendship. He tried to still support him, but it is what it is. Imani's a woman of the house, and whatever you think, whatever preconceived notions you have, whatever homophobia you have, that's your problem, your business. You have no place to stay. I'm sitting up here taking care of you. Imani's sitting up here feeding you, and this is how you gonna do all behind some what? Imani don't want you. She didn't even want you in the house. The fact that she's trying to help you get in a good position so that you can get this job and you can look put together and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, y'all, Rashad was giving this from the very jump for me. I knew that this was about to be a thing. Honestly, I'm just concerned if it's going to be an even bigger thing. Like, will Rashad take revenge for getting kicked out of the house now that, you know, it's very clear where he stands in reference to his position on Imani, and him and Trig then got into it behind it. I definitely think that he's the type. Like, he's the type to take out his aggression on others. He's pissed that he didn't get the job. He doesn't probably really want a job. Like, I have yet to see Rashad's character actually want to do right or want to get his life together the way that he was talking about in his job interview. So he's definitely giving me low ethics, low morals, and anger. And that's got to come out somewhere. It's got to manifest somewhere. I think that somehow Rashad's going to find his way into some kind of situation with Nuck, and that's going to be a huge, huge problem for Trig. And I think the scenes that they have with Jada and Emmett are just so powerful. They're so still and so calm, but they're just so powerful, and I love that they're including this part of the storyline and being very, very detailed in how they deliver Jada's storyline and the processing of it, of, you know, the cancer diagnosis, the cancer treatment, and then its effects on her son. And again, shout out to Jacob Latimore, because I think that he is actually killing it right now with his performances around his feelings towards his mom's diagnosis in this case as Emmett. Literally chef's kiss. And halfway through the episode, y'all, we started to get the peak of Kiesha and a new relationship with this dude that she works at the store with. And I felt like at first it's kind of early, but the dude's energy feels very genuine and very innocent and very like, yo, he could really be feeling her. I don't know. The shot, Lena, all y'all writers over there, y'all are really doing it. I feel like they are having so many conversations at once, but they're not doing it in a way that's inauthentic or overly done. So like for me, Kiesha even having a guy interested in her right now, it starts the conversation of like, what does Keisha's mental look like as she continues to assimilate back into real life, back into normal life after being kidnapped and impregnated by her kidnapper. And now she's bringing that baby to full term. And after that, right, and she goes back to her life and she's going to give the baby to Octavia. Octavia's going to adopt the baby. What happens then? And this starts the conversation of like, where is Keisha's mental? Does she feel like she's worthy of love? Does she feel like she deserves it? Does she feel like she could ever see herself with a guy? Could she ever trust a guy again? Just these little scenes, y'all, gave me so much to go off of in reference to where I feel like they're going to be going in the future. And I'm so excited for them to have those conversations. I can't really say that I have seen that storyline really play out in depth and in full with its like complex and nuanced glory on screen, at least on a television screen, in a very, very long time. that wasn't like a procedural. So again, I'm really excited for that. I love what they're doing with Kiesha. Then the icing on the cake is the home birth scene. Woo! And Octavia and them dang on intentions and the tension behind Nina wanting to go to a regular hospital, but them deciding that they're going to do a home birth with the doula, and they touched upon black women giving birth and the mortality rate in hospitals and all of that. Anyway, like I said, I love what they're doing with Kiesha's storyline. I think Roselyn is starting to feel the heat, honey, because during the little mayoral ball and their dance, she gives Douda an ultimatum about giving her a position within his administration because she needs some kind of security, because she knows that Tracy's getting close. Tracy is getting close, y'all, and I think that Roselyn's trying to shore up herself, which is honestly kind of a little bit weird to me, just because Roselyn is a new character. Like, we were not introduced to her in reference to being Douda's wife very, very early on. So it's like, girl, even if he don't bring you into his administration or keep you around or want you to do this anymore, can't you go back to doing whatever you were doing before we knew who you were, where you seemed to be just fine? Because she popped up out of nowhere like, oh, I just came to such and such and such and such. And it's like, did you just come just because he started to display these political aspirations and that's what you ultimately wanted? Like, I need them to give me a little bit more of Roselyn for me to understand what is this driving force, because she seemed to be just fine before she ever really appeared, and she didn't really feel called to appear. She just kind of came out of nowhere, and now all of a sudden she's trying to stake her claim and all that stuff, and I'm just like, it's giving you gonna compromise your life. And it's been given that. Like, it's been given you keep threatening Douda and it's gonna be him or you at some point. And my money was on him at one point, but you know, we did get the preview in reference to somebody shooting him. So hey, it could have been, my money should have been on you. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Roselyn. Definitely think that she is threatened by Tracy and how rapid Douda's feelings are developing for Tracy. I really hate that Kevin had to have his suspicions confirmed in this way. This is like days after Kevin goes to therapy and decides that he can be responsible and he's going to try to do better with his family. He's going to try to get his life together. He's going to stop drinking and doing certain things. And like, then this happens. And I do think that Kevin is really, really, really into Jemma. I think he was just struggling at the start of the season. So to see Jake and Jemma in the way that he did, and he already had feelings about it and concerns about it, but to see it play out the way it did, I can feel like this is just yet another traumatic situation, traumatic thing that has happened to this young man. It's just like, ugh, how much more did this boy got to go through? Ooh, that little father-son moment with Emmett and his dad at the end. Ooh, child. We love to see it, man. We love to see it. And then the major question of this episode is, who shot Douda? And also for me, is he actually going to die? Because we watched him bleed out on the roof at the very end of the episode. And that's the question I'm going to pose to y'all. Jump down in the comment section down below and tell me, who do you think shot Douda, and if you think he's going to die. I'm your girl Erica Vane, and I break down all of the hottest television shows that are streaming on cable as well as network. You should really join the tribe by hitting subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos when I post them. I'm posting new videos every day, sometimes multiple times a day. We have a lot of the best conversations around television, and I would love to key and continue to converse with you in the comment section. If you miss any of my The Shot coverage, I got the full The Shot playlist link for you right here. And if you're looking for something new to watch, I have my breakdowns of Sisters right here, as well as my breakdowns for Run the World right here. Check it out.